everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Daily Antidote of Song. So delighted to see you for another day that we get to bring you magic of music and community and joy and uplift. And we learn a little something, something too. And we have a great time. I'm Kathy Bullock, coming to you from Berea, Kentucky. Cloudy skies, but the sun. That's why I have yellow on in the house. And on behalf of Carpe Diem Facebook folks, we are delighted to have you join us today. If this is your first time, don't let it be your last, because this happens like every day at the Magic Happens from 12 to 1. So we're just delighted to see you. Now, I get to welcome all of the members who are here on Zoom. So, and we have a fantastic group, dynamic duo that's going to be sharing with you today. I'll tell you a little bit more about them later. Thank you, Katie, for doing your tech work. And of course, Joe is our fantastic fearless leader. And so, let me welcome the rest of you. There's Becky, welcome, Aloysius, Sandra, Jaden, hey, Hindi, Trish and Victoria, Wendy in Kingston, Simke in Maryland, Deborah, hey, she's in Kentucky, right down the road from me, Sherry in New Hampshire, Sheila, Claire in Boise, Susan G. I see iPhone and a beautiful smile, Sarah in Texas, Kate in Charlottesville, Jamie, and Bonnie in Michigan for now, she says. And then we have Barb in Virginia, John Bruner, Kathy in Virginia. Let's see who else we have here. Welcome, Susan in Seattle. There is Willard and Curly Tops, the Luda in Victoria, Carolyn, as always, Christiana. I see Christiana and Gladys. Welcome, Storm. I love your hat. Steve and Michelle. I see Steve, welcome. Kathleen from Albuquerque, Carolyn in D.C., Fred in Silver Spring, Jim in New York City. There's Miles, hi in Michigan. Betsy, Ruth in Birmingham, Sean. There's Sean, she's coming from England. Join us, Julie in Ontario. And there's another gorgeous iPhone with a beautiful smile. Sandy and Naughty in North Carolina. And Annette in, let's see, there she is. This little thing keeps going on in front of me. Ralph, hey. Moria in San Jose. Mabel, hey. Laura, Evans, Terry, Nancy's cow, Busy. The great dynamic Busy is with us. Let's see who else we have today. Oh, there's Don. Hey. And Fran coming to us from England. Good friend Trish, Amy, Bob in Tucson, and there are others. We don't see their faces, but that's Louise and Karen in Oregon, and Ruth in Massachusetts, Hindi, and Linda, and Johnny, Robert, out in Maine, Amos, Jane, and I think we've got everybody so far. Woo, take a breath with me. Because we can. And for all of you at Facebook folk, you're also welcome to join us on Zoom if you like. We're just glad to be here, y'all. Now, I'm not going to take any more time because I'm excited. This is our week of sharing things related to Dr. Martin Luther King, his influences, his messages, and just the thoughts about freedoms for us all. And to help us in this celebration is this duo, which is, they are not strangers to the Daily Antidote of Song, is Dan and Claudia Zanes, coming to us from Baltimore, Maryland, which is down the road from where I used to live. I'm so happy to have them join this dynamic duo.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kathy. We are so happy to be here with you all as we honor the legendary Dr. Martin Luther King. The song we're going to sing with you all today is a song that got started in the African American church. It's an African American spiritual called We Shall Not Be Moved. Originally, I Shall Not Be Moved. But I want to read the context, the biblical context where this text comes from. So Jeremiah 17, verse 7 says, "Blessed is the man that trusteth the Lord in the Lord, and whose hope the Lord is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh. But her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. And Psalms 1:3, he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth the fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. All right, so this is We Shall Not Be Moved. I think many of you might know it, so I don't know if we're going to take too much time teaching it, or do you?
No, let's jump
Let's
right
just
in.
jump
I think
right on
everybody
in.
knows. Let's
All
put it on.
right.
We're going to put it on
Gallery so we can see
the
everybody.
Hollywood Squares so we can see everybody. How do we do
Right
that?
there.
All right.
Are we pinned? Sometimes that happens. Hold on.
Oh, remove spotlight. Yeah, there we go. We just want to see everybody. You look so good today. See so many familiar faces.
I don't know how to do it, babe. Hold
All
on.
right.
I think this is just it.
We're going to look at
Gallery.
Kathy then.
There we go.
There we go. All right.
right.
There's everybody. All right. Ready?
Yes.
We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the waters. We shall not be moved. Hand in hand together, hand in hand together. We shall not be moved. Hand in hand together. We shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Black and white together. We shall not be moved. Oh, black and white together. We shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the waters. We shall not be moved. This is wonderful. Take it, Dan. Fighting for our freedom, fighting for our freedom. We shall not be moved. Yes, we're fighting for our freedom. We shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the waters. We shall not be moved. Fighting for our children, fighting for our children. We shall not be moved. Yes, we're fighting for our children. We shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved.
Yes, 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 yes. Woo! We shall not be moved. And I'm gonna join you, and sometime we're gonna sing it together. Yes,
Right.
yes. I felt the fire. I was looking at everyone as we were singing and we were moving, and it was like, baby, we got this. Hands linked together. You know, sometimes when I was, well, you know, I'm a PK church. Sometimes people would sing that we shall not be moved in times that they do need to move. You know what I'm saying? It's times where they be stuck in the past. And so this song is so powerful because it speaks to right now in our principles, in our goals, in our commitments. standing strong.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And talk to me more about that. And as you started talking before you sang, this great bell rang, and of course somebody came to my door about the internet, and so I raced off right there. I'm on Zoom. I'm talking to me. So that was happening. So I didn't get all of the golden nuggets that you were saying. I was just like, oh yeah. So anyway, so I know, and you were talking before about Martin Luther King and about most recent kind of events. Talk to us more. I think that was you, Dan.
All right. Yeah,
Oh,
you know,
sorry.
we were talking about the radio station that we
Yes.
listened to from Morgan State, WEAA, from the HBCU Morgan State. So it's Black Perspective Radio. We are so blessed to be able to wake up in the morning and we just leave it on all day. But from 2 to 4, and anybody can listen because it's weaa.org. From 2 to 4, there's a show with Dr. K. Wise Whitehead called Today with Dr. K. And it's a master class in talking about the issues. Every day, from Monday through Friday. And so on Monday, Dr. K was talking about Martin Luther King Jr., the writer, that he's written 6 books. And she asked the question, and how many of them have you read? And I had to answer none. And you know, so it was really, you know, sometimes I think I know so much, and I really know so little. You know, so I was grateful to get that homework for 2022. I mean,
yes, and I'll say that she also challenged us to not believe all that we just hear about Dr. K. I mean, I'm sorry, about Dr. King. So the whitewashing of Dr. King over time as well. So it is important for us to also, that he was more than his I Have a Dream speech. There were so many other speeches that he had written and what he stood for. So the importance of just reading his works and hearing it from his voice and not just what we hear every year around this time of year. And then also looking at it, there was the challenge too. So we are members of Pleasant Hope Baptist Church with Pastor Eber Brown III, and he challenged us on Sunday to ask us, what are we doing to push things forward, not just for us individually, but for us as a people? Instead of just looking at Dr. King's Day as a day off, what are we actually doing on that day? You know, it's important to reflect. It's important. We've been watching some documentaries. We're watching currently Black Women of the Movement right now, which is on Hulu, Netflix, one of those. So we really encourage you to check these things out. But it was a great call to action too. What are we doing besides the day off? How are we using this time?
Call to action, I heard you say.
Yes.
I heard you say, what are we doing? The great writer reading his works. And I was saying to you before we started that, every time I look at some of his works, I see a quote that I hadn't either heard or hadn't resonated with me in the same way. And I'm newly inspired and newly informed. And it's like, wow. And I think that's true of greatness and people who share greatness in their light. It doesn't end, it's ongoing. You know, that light and that message. There's some messages just universal and forever and ever. Amen. And so this has been that time which we need so much to reflect on those things and focus on those things, because otherwise some of the stuff that we focusing on, I'd be ready like, yeah, okay, I'm all right. All right, I'm all right. So
Right.
we shall not be moved. So are you continuing to do your works then, Dan, in terms of looking at, is it particularly white folks in terms about looking at issues of race and?
Yeah, definitely. And I wanted to read a quote that I saw for the first time on Monday, and it goes like this because it ties into the constructive white conversations. He said, only through an inner spiritual transformation do we gain the strength to fight vigorously the evils of the world in a humble and loving spirit. And that to me was, to speak to the outward action. I think that's the conversation that goes on so often, but the inner transformation. And so when I heard that, I thought about myself as a white person and the white people that I know, and I thought about how grateful I am that there is a place there. There's several, I'm sure, but there's the one I know is called Constructive White Conversations, and a number of folks from the Daily Antidote community have been coming, and it's
been a beautiful thing, because that is a place to go to work on the inner. It's action, to be sure, it's action, and but it's the internal piece, which is so important. I had so much white racial conditioning that told me that everything was all right. Black folks are going to do their thing. They're going to, solve their problems. White folks, we're going to do our thing. We're going to go on our merry way, and I wasn't able to see how systemic racism is really something that white people absolutely have to be involved in on a daily basis. So constructive white conversations is one piece of the anti-racism puzzle, but I believe it's a very important one. And for those of you that haven't joined us, who identify as white, please do come. 8 times a month, pick one, join us, constructivewhiteconversations.org. It's a very welcoming place where we can work to get some freedom from that white racial conditioning.
Wow. Thank you for that work. Thank you for that work. Thank you for taking that task and continuing. It's never easy, but the things that are transformative aren't. They're not like a piece of cake. It's like taking bull by the horns, committed. I'm not moving from my course, my commitment. And that step by step is how it happens. Change for the best of us. Thank you for that. Claudia, what you gonna add to that? I just see you. It's just like.
Yeah, no, I'm always so inspired and moved by the work that Dan is doing, and to hear there's so many of my friends personally as well that have been attending these meetings, and it has deepened our relationships too, in terms of what we can discuss and how the authenticity of the relationship has deepened, which is really beautiful.
Oh, I like that word. She said relationship. Y'all get that? Yeah. I like it. It's true. I get it. Yes.
Yeah. So it's not.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's not so surfacey. We can go deeper than we could have in the past. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate that white folks are taking it on, themselves as well. And it's not the pressure on folks of color as well to do this work too. So I really do appreciate that.
Amen to that.
My back is thankful.
I know. Tired.
Exactly.
So there is joy in this connectedness. Thank you you epitomize that connectedness and moving through with the authenticity. Thank you for being who you are or who you be. I love it when you have to say it like that.
Thank you.
Be.
Yeah. And Kathy, to add to that too, I think another thing that I have been really mindful of and deliberate about in 2022 is just, there's just such tremendous dissonance in the world right now. And just the idea of taking care of ourselves, taking care of each other, our communities, but really the self-love piece is really important right now. There's so many forces out in the world that are pulling us apart. But if I don't fill my vessel, I can't pour into someone else. And so I have been thinking about that a lot in the music that we're making. But as many of you here at the Daily Antidote know too, I also make soap, and many of you have supported me over the course of the last few years. And so, when I rolled into 2022, I was just thinking about, what does self-love look like? Sometimes it's cooking that beautiful meal and a glass of wine for one, maybe two, I don't know, however many, but treating yourself, really loving on yourself. And so I am excited to share that I curated a love-filled collection series of soaps that is going to be available on January 29th on my website, cleosoaps.com. And I'm gonna just show you real fast.
They're real nice. Fast. They're real nice.
Just self-love, for the folks you love in your life. So here's my EXO bar. This is a little love for yourself, a little pampering in the bath or in the shower. Then we got, of course, what is love without some chocolate-covered strawberries?
Aww. That's mine right there.
Okay.
Well, I want y'all to know I have had some of these Cleo soap, and it's marvelous.
Oh,
I'm telling you.
Thank you, Kathy. And sometimes we got to just write a little love letter to ourselves. So this is a love letter bar of soap as well. So there's going to be more soaps available on cleosoaps.com. Treat yourself, pamper yourself, love on yourself. You deserve it. Feed yourself, fuel yourself with skin nourishing goodness. Okay.
Yes.
So January 29th.
Yes.
And you get to support a small Black-owned business, which I truly am grateful for, which really means a lot. So I really appreciate y'all for supporting me.
Inspiring. I got you, y'all. It is. I'm telling you. I'm telling you from experience. Oh, thinking about the internal, our thoughts and our emotions, and then love for self means if it starts here, and then loving the vessel that you're in and taking good care of it, and then exuding from that love and light to others, and not allowing all this dissonance to get us off course, because we just be, with all the things that take place. It's work, but it's so worth it. It's so transformative, and it's so right. Yes. I thank you all for being who you are and making this happen as we think about and honor what Martin Luther King shared with us, and the whole communities around, which have grown around that, because there were truths that I feel he shared, and they were coming through him, but they even go beyond, what he has to say. I'm not gonna talk no more because I want to hear y'all sing again. But is there anything else you want to stay before you jam with us again? Because we were jamming. I don't know if you watched the rest of us. We were jamming on this song. It's some songs too, they just never lose their power.
That's right.
Simple, to the point. Baby.
And you know what I think, what I'm reminded of, Kathy, today, just listening to you and seeing everybody on the screen, I think the most important word in this song is we, because none of the stuff we're talking about we're able to do in isolation. It all has to happen when we come together with each other. So what a blessing it is to be here today with all of you.
And we have to believe it. And King would say, one of his quotes was, faith is like going up the stairs when you can't see the top.
That's right.
Of the staircase, but you're moving up. And so having the faith that the we exist and will exist and be stronger, that you're a part of it, you're valuable and can make a difference step by step. Starting with there. We, baby, I got you. All right. Out.
All right, let's do this.
We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Hand in hand together, we shall not be moved. Hand in hand together, we shall not be moved. It's like a tree planted by the waters. We shall not be moved. When we march together, we shall not be moved. Oh, when we march together, we shall not be moved. Just like a tree planted by the water, we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Yes, we shall not be moved. Just like a tree planted by the water, we shall not be moved.
Give it up for Dan and Claudia. There's just folks are talking in the chat about how much they love you guys. Whenever you're in the house, they got to be here.
We love y'all too. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, everyone. Be well and be safe out there.
Woo! We're taking that message with us. Take it to the bank. I mean, it's here. We shall not be moved. Okay, get me going. They have. So with the harmonica and the guitars, they said always uplifting. Those are some of the words that we're sharing with you. So we want to, at this time, thank you all for joining us today with another day of love and uplift and reminders. It ain't over. We have work to do. And reminder to stay the course. Stay the course. Stay on target.
Healthy,
stay on target.
Stay strong, so you can do the work. Stay healthy, stay well. Take care of yourself.
Yes, some beautiful soaps. Some beautiful Cleos. They look good, they smell good, they feel good. Cleo, you got a song about your Cleo soaps?
Oh, I'm waiting on you, Kathy, for that one.
God, we gotta get that song together. Love to everybody here. We're gonna have to say see you later until tomorrow when we come back and we do the same thing all over again with another phenomenal song leader. So with that in mind, I'm going to say I have to be able to see all of you, and I'd see just okay, there you all are. So thanks to Joe Rossi as usual. Y'all see her beautiful smile. I mean, I call her our fearless leader because this is day 600 and 40, 50. I don't even know. Maybe Katie knows what day it is. But since 2020, y'all, for our Facebook friends, if you are new to this sing-along, know that this happens every day, 7 days a week. We share songs. We share with fabulous people like we had today, Dan and Claudia. And we get to spend a little moment and share a little light and receive. And it's really phenomenal. And there are other things happening as this community has grown and in fact, there's so many people, so get on board. Find us through the Facebook and coming on to the Zoom. We're doing great things. We'll have another wonderful person tomorrow as part of our week of Martin Luther King in the civil rights movement and reflections and honoring and celebrating. So I get to say bye to everybody. Katie, thank you for your tech as usual. The beautiful Katie is keeping us moving and flowing. Again, thanks to the marvelous, fantastic Dan and Claudia. Every time I see you, every time I hear you, I leave like this. That's how I leave. Like, yeah. Okay. Stop, Kathy. I gotta say bye to everybody for today, for right now. And for Facebook folks, thank you for joining us. You're welcome to join us on Zoom. If you want to know more information, you can find out about it. You can get on the mailing list, so then you can find out what's going on ahead of time and be ready. 7 days a week, y'all. And so for those